Right, so for this habitat, obviously it's now next to the llama habitat and it's on the side of the river, so I just wanted to kind of connect this to like all the keeper facilities, so that's all there and out the way. Um, yeah, to be honest, I don't really like having the monkeys in the game. Like, they are quite interesting to build for, but they're not my favourite animals really. I don't really like monkeys. So, yeah, I just sort of I don't know, I just don't have the enthusiasm that I do for some of the other animals. So anyway, this was this, and I put the path in first so that I could actually build the building around it. I just wanted a small kind of indoor viewing area. You know, most zoos tend to have kind of like indoor viewing areas for most animals, so that's kind of what I was going for here. And I just really like the concrete look. I've not really used concrete yet in the game, so well in this game anyway, so I decided I would use that. And yeah. So I built this first just so I could kind of see where the guests would be viewing from. As I said, I tend to have like rules of three, sort of three viewing areas for the guests to be able to look at the animals from. So, and like that way it just helps me build like distinctive viewing areas compared to sort of what they could be, if you get what I mean. Like, rather than just having, like, you know, they can just see into it from all angles, it just means that there's areas that the guests go and you can encourage them to actually use the things you build. So here we go with just some glass roof work and just trying to sort all this out. Basically, it was all kind of like not perfectly aligned, so I had to go and manually move it all, which is annoying. I'm a bit naff at trying to work out where everything lines up properly when I'm building it. So yeah, we have all that kind of worked out there. But yeah, so I do enjoy building like climbing frames and things for the monkeys and stuff. I think it's really interesting. Again, as I've said previously, it would be nice to have some more kind of enrichment items, like a tire swing for the monkeys. I mean, there was one in Zoo Tycoon 2. Like, why can't we have like a tire swing instead of having to build one? Because I mean, it just doesn't look as good as it could do. So, yeah. So again, with all this, I was just putting in some structural supports, just trying some different things out. The idea of this was that again, it would be, as I said in the previous video, with that it'd be viewed from the llama habitat. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that out because it's just me talking about, you know, where we are, a bit of an update with the zoo, and just my thoughts really about kind of where the game's going. So I really hope we get some new DLC coming soon. I'm probably going to be mentioning it in every video for the time being, just because, like, you know, it's coming soon. Right, we're probably like 4 weeks away from getting new DLC, and we won't know until like a week before. So fingers crossed that it's something good, and fingers crossed we do actually get DLC and we don't end up not getting DLC. It also means there's probably going to be an update soon, so I'm curious to see what they're going to bring, and I'm hoping beyond hopes that it's going to be more swimming animations because I really hope they do that and don't just ignore us because, you know, at the end of the day, I think it's about trust. Organizations that last long have trust from the people who use them. So I think, to be honest, they need to like reaffirm that trust with the user base because I think people are losing faith in the game, sadly, and it's really sad to see. And I just want this game to succeed because I love it. Anyway, so that is the sort of main viewing area done now. So now I wanted to build kind of like an indoor area for the mandrills because we're in a temperate zone. It's going to snow, and it does snow. I think at one point while I'm building this. That's the one downside to franchise. I do kind of regret building this in franchise, but at the same time, like, I just really enjoy franchise in the game. Like, I enjoy having the challenge of making money. I mean, we're on over 4 million now in this game, and I never thought I'd be making that much money in one zoo. And the guests still are coming in and are still viewing everything. So once I finish building, I will probably just let the guest count go up to the full amount and let, you know, the guests kind of go a bit crazy. So yeah. So obviously we don't want them escaping. So I was just trying to mess around with some barriers. I decided to go with the metal one and I'm just gonna hide the metal with some stuff. But as you can see, it's snowing now. Hooray! The mandrills absolutely love that. So yeah, I was just trying to make it warmer for them inside and oh yeah, so I unfortunately had to stop recording a bit and then I forgot to press record again, so this is me just building a climbing frame for them. So we have this climbing frame that I started building, and yeah, essentially they're always kind of the more interesting things I think to build. There's so many climbable pieces in the game. Like if you filter by climbable pieces, you can find out what pieces are around to like actually your animals can actually climb on, so you can get all funky looking things. And yeah, it's something that has been done very, very well. I think the climbing mechanics in the game are really, really good, and it's just a shame that we don't see those kind of mechanics like, um, with like swimming, for like the hippos and the polar bears, and also sort of for like, flying like flamingos and things, and the peacocks, even just fluttering like chickens do. That would be nice to see. Um, so I just wanted to create some little rope bridges here, just so that it all kind of looks like it connects nicely, like so. Doop doop doo. But yeah, I really, really hope that the new update brings something new to the game or improves the mechanics a bit. I feel like the animals are actually on the least concern when it comes to this game. Most people, like most of the developers, don't really seem to care that much actually about improving the animal animations, and they've gone to all this effort to actually make them look realistic. The least they could do is just make it look kind of and have it work so that it's kind of realistic, and I don't know. I know that there's a lot of people feeling the same. Um, I really can't wait to spend money on the new DLC. I really need something to look forward to, and it would just be nice to have some confirmation that there will be a DLC in December, and that we're not going to get to December and then just be disappointed. Like, I think that's my biggest complaint, really, is just the lack of communication. Um, so yeah, anyway, we're going to build another little bridge in here just for kind of like the viewing area. Now, if you rotate it and things like that, you can make it look a little bit more natural rather than just kind of copying and pasting the same stuff. Um, as well, like with these kind of bridges, I tend to just copy and paste one half of them. So I do one half and then copy and paste them. Then it just saves time. If you, again, as I say, if you've already built it, why rebuild it? Unless it's going to add anything extra and make it look even better, then why rebuild it? Um, but yeah, I mean, for example, with the ice palace that I built, I really, really would love to have the polar bears diving down into the wreck that's under the water. But they're not going to do that, are they? Because the game doesn't allow that, and it's just really sad. It's just I really want to see the polar bears swimming. Like, I mean, we can't even put them in really in franchise zoos. Like, I'm dreading actually putting the polar bears in Alphabet Zoo because they're going to have to be there because we're on franchise mode and we're working our way through the alphabet. We're going to probably maybe only have one polar bear, which I think is even more sad because, like, I'm pretty sure they don't mind the company. I mean, most animals in captivity don't tend to mind having another one with them. They quite like the company. It gives them something to do and think about, whereas 6,000 meters for two polar bears is going to be pushing it. Um, so, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm hoping they'll make some modifications to it at some point. Um, but we'll see. I mean, I get why they did it. I do get why they did it, but at the same time, it essentially has made one of the DLC animals just not usable. So yeah, why did they make it usable? Why did they even put it in if it's not usable? I mean, the Arctic pack, I mean, I would argue was possibly some of the most disappointing pack of them out there. They've definitely got better as time's gone on, but just we got 4 animals. We didn't even get an exhibit animal, and then one of those animals we couldn't even use. We did get some really, really nice kind of like build pieces, which I do use all the time, but at the same time I'm here for the animals, not the build pieces. I could go build a Planet Coaster if I wanted to build, and not really care about the animals. But yeah, so anyway, yeah. So this is going to be a bit of a long one because again it was a bit of a detailed build, I'm afraid. So yeah. Anyway, we're in lockdown now in the UK, so it's pretty much just more of the same. Not really going anywhere now. Not even to restaurants, which is kind of sad. But it is what it is. I'd rather just, get this over and done with as fast as possible so life can go back to normal. Um, so here I was trying to create some lights for a mandrill, but I just did not like how it looked at all. So I will repeatedly try and then give up soon. Um, Again, I don't really know what happened when I was building the ice palace. I don't know where that came from. I just pulled it out of nowhere. Um, so I'm really excited to show you the video for that because like I want to show you how you can build kind of like the ice shards that I built for it because I basically put them all into different things. I mean, I won't go into too much there, but yeah. So anyway, back to this habitat. So we're almost done with this now, and I'm just putting some trimmings on the roof to make it look a little bit more kind of, you know, neat and tidy. I mean, at this point, you've seen me build like several buildings now, and I want to. Like, this is probably one of the most boring buildings that I've built compared to like the peacock house and the flamingo house. It's very, very square, very, very simple, and again, there's not really too many tips or things that I can offer here. It's just sort of, you know, make sure you build your buildings around paths. It's sort of all the same that I've said before. Um, so the next Alphabet Zoo video after this is going to be the Nile monitor, and then it'll be the Nyala, and then the Okapi. So that's really cool. Please do stay tuned for that because hopefully we'll be trying to do something a bit interesting. I'm gonna have to think about what I'm gonna do for those. But yeah, new Planet Zoo videos will be every Tuesday and Friday, as always. And this weekend we are starting the Long Dark. So if you've never played the Long Dark, I'd recommend it. It's a apocalypse survival game. It's a single player game, but we're basically just, you know, in the Canadian wilderness. We've got to survive as long as possible. So, yep, we shall do that. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. So take care, guys.